have too much caffeine. With that energy, we created Mozart. Watch us create Mozart. So we're back at this again. We came from doing Pete Tchaikovsky, James Hetfield influenced Explorer guitar, shredding it up. Then we moved on into Ludwig van Beethoven, and you gave him that super strat style Ibanez type of guitar inspired by core bands like August Burns Red. And now we're moving on into Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the young guy.
Yeah.
The kind of the wild child of that world of classical music.
Yep.
And he's got his own vibe, he's got his own characteristics. We're jumping right into this. As far as the raw artistic approach to this, you still have that same type of shading that you were talking about. I've noticed the exaggerated character features, the longer arms, the bigger hands, that really adds to the visual component of, hey, he's interfacing with the guitar, the way he's standing, you very much feel and sense the weight of the guitar that he's got, and he's getting into it. And so now visually speaking, more so of just the pure aesthetic approach to this, was there anyone in particular or any band in particular or any genre or style of music that really made you say, okay, this is what Mozart is going to look like?
So, I think this one, weirdly, I let what I know about Mozart drive more than what style of music that I wanted him to be, like the style of metal that I wanted him to be a part of. Because what I know about Mozart is that, like, he was, I think it's called a virtuoso, I believe, whenever you're really good at an instrument. And he was like a prodigy, so like real young, he just got it. He just understood music and was just phenomenal at it. And so everything that I remember learning about him was that he was, he was very cocky, arrogant. He, kind of like
explains the man bun.
Hey. But no, so like the picture that I use is a reference of, what does Mozart look like? Bright red shirt, and he had, his beautifully curled white wig. And so I was like, how do I translate that to modern? Okay, maybe he has his hair pulled back into the, the bun, so he has the long hair, but it still has a little bit more of a callback to the way that his hair pulled back, but it's obviously white, like his hair is white. But that bright red t-shirt and the bright red, like, flying V style guitar is usually indicative that if you're seeing a guy with a flying V, this is why a lot of people will go get those kind of guitars, because they think that begets shredding, whereas it's usually a guy has a guitar like that because he shreds and it's just flashy.
Yeah.
And so...
And by the way, little just fun fact there, the main culprit of that is Randy Rhoads from Ozzy Osbourne. He was the first guy I remember seeing. Of course, there was other bands that used it, but he was the first one I really saw that would just personified the V guitar for a generation. But anyways, continue. I'm sure some blowhard in the comments is going to just put me on blast about that. But anyways, continue. The flying V and the wild child approach.
So it wasn't so much that I had a specific, there's some bands that, like, once I, drew them out, I was like, oh, like this definitely feels like that guy. Because being around musicians, you all know, like, that guy that is really flashy and very confident in his skills and kind of like image obsessed sort of thing. And that's kind of what, like, I'm going for with Mozart here, is this, bright red shirt, bright red guitar, flying V guitar, clean look, like he's got his he's like pretty boy kind of look, and he just looks like he can shred,
Yeah, and I mean that was the case. That dude was a shredder, and I like it. It all works really well, and I think that you did pretty good. I mean, not to say you didn't do good on all of these.
Yeah, come on, John. I'm giving myself 10s across the board.
I'm giving myself 10s across the board. Kyle Durrell, 2020. That's the quote of the year. I'm giving myself 10s across the board. I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, again, 10 out of 10 fun. I'm having fun working on this project. But no, you really did. And again, not that there was anything missing from the other ones. This one really, really, really was nailed on just the whole look and the vibe. You know, as I was looking at him when you showed me the final product. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good one. But like you said, what you've already said, I'm basically just going to echo that, which is the flying V guitar, just flashy, and it's great. You know, the thing about that is that it fits that person so well because it's grossly impractical.
Yeah.
Like you can't play the thing sitting down.
No, I've
at
tried.
all.
You look like you're playing. You have to like prop it between your leg, like.
Yeah, you have to get an
cello-like.
exaggerated classical kind of a hold on it,
Oh,
and it's just, but it's cool looking when you're standing up playing it. And the cases for those things are usually just
mean looking,
they
man.
look like a boat. Like if Jack from Titanic had a flying V guitar case he could have floated on.
Right.
That movie would have ended differently. But yeah, no, it works really well, and it's going to be exciting to work with it again. Though, like you were helping me with the visual component, push the music in a certain direction, because there's bands like Children of Bodom is the one band that really pops into my mind when I look at this. And I can never remember the guy's name. That's the head honcho, the lead guy in that band. I think his first name is Alex. I wasn't a huge fan of them. I had seen them a couple times just by happenstance, by being at a show with them, and they always did a good job. I just, for some reason, never really grabbed me. But that's the vibe I get from him, and what's funny about that is he's a flamboyant shredder. And he played a flying V guitar,
That's
and
awesome.
or he's still active, so he plays a flying V guitar, or he did at least when I saw him. And so it all fits that, he fits that same persona, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe if he considered himself to be greatly influenced by someone like Mozart. And so there's that aspect to the playing and the music that, you know, I have potential to draw out when I see the visual and hear how you described it, and how that could play into the way that I will represent that, you know, with musical instruments. So this is great, having fun, 10 out of 10. You know, we're gonna keep this train rolling, so we'll move on to the next one. Outro.
That was Mozart.
Outro.
Bye.